Hey, it's been an interesting 3 days with the Schumann. So we'll go into that, but first, here's a little bit about what's been happening with the sun. So the sun has a big mass hole that's equatorial and pointed right at us, as you can see, right over there. And that is making us have very fast solar wind, up into the 600 kilometers per second range, which is twice normal. I feel jittery when that's happening, kind of like I've had too much coffee, or at times like I'm floating on a ping pong ball in space trying to hold on. We've been having elevated K levels, which is geomagnetic storm levels, and I would remind you that where it's yellow there, some of that used to be red, and where it's green, some of that used to be yellow. So we have had those elevated levels. You may have had a headache, felt nauseous, just generally kind of icky, maybe sore in your joints. Before we get into Schumann, pause to read. You can also go visit spaceweather.com to read these things in depth. He does an amazing job of keeping track of everything going on up in space. But these blue walker satellites that are up in the sky, they're not too bright to drown out the other stars yet. But check this out. They plan to launch 100 satellites that are larger called bluebirds, which could cause a whole lot of problems. And that's why the space scientists of the world are kind of getting together and saying, hey, we might want to think about how much crap we're putting up there. And in case you're wondering, why is it important that we can accurately see the stars? That is how we know if an asteroid is coming to kick our butts. So we've had 3 nights in a row of Schumann activation. I will go into this in depth on an episode of Grooving Goddess that I'm going to record today. But these long markers, those brief pulses, those have turned out to be timeline shift markers, in my opinion. I'm not alone in this. And then in between those, we get these integration periods. Lots of weird dreams, lots of feelings of being out of time, out of sync, out of sorts. I want to make it clear that this is just my opinion, and I never claim to have it all figured out. The fast solar wind, by the way, can cause earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. It's been a pattern that I've noticed over the years. The only things that I, am tied to is the facts of the information that I get from space. So when I get that episode done on the Schumann and the timeline shifts, I will let you know and put up an announcement.